So the issue is that the way nerves work is that they are set sort of at a normal level of sensitivity for a normal level of stimulation that comes into the organism. If the intensity of the signal from the outside, in this case, for example, when we massively increase the concentration of sugar, fat, and salt in the diet, or we use some chemical altering substances, some drug, if we do those things, then what's going to happen is the senses are effectively going to become dulled. There's a reason for that. They're essentially defending themselves against hyperstimulation. So they will become dulled, they will become desensitized is what's going to happen. And therefore, the experience of a normal substance in comparison will feel flat. So this is, let's just say if you go into somebody's house at Christmas time and you smell the Christmas tree, it smells fantastic. But then after you've been there for a while, you can't smell it. That's a case of your senses becoming essentially dulled to that stimulus that is at a higher than normal level of concentration than you would even find in the forest. So that's how it's going to work. Now that hasn't done any damage. It will go back. You see, so the same thing is true of eating a very rich diet. If you eat a very rich diet, you've done so your whole life. If you try to make the change to a healthy diet, it's going to feel like a sacrifice. It will.
For how long?
The chemical senses studies will tell us that you can get essentially a totally natural palate in about 4 months. Now, the truth is that's not linear. So you're going to do a tremendous amount. You'll probably go halfway in 2 weeks. So you'll be in quite good shape in 2 weeks, and then you'll continue to gain sensitivity. I wish I could tell you more about what these curves really look like, but I can just tell you, well, we are doing the original research on that.
Nice.
Currently at True North Health Center. So
That's exciting.
Yeah, we're going to learn here in the next year or two what these recovery curves actually look like.
You're going to have to come back and
Yes.
talk to me about this.
But I would point out the following, some things that we see even with major brain changes that have taken place between major drugs, which is they're way heavier on the brain, way more impactful than the taste centers with respect to food, and that would be alcohol. Notice that there's a reason why a 30-day chip in AA is a very big deal. And that's because after 30 days, if you've made it through 30 days, you've gone through a substantial portion of recovery. Now we know it's really tentative, and you are still in trouble, and you're still going to have major cravings. But this is also why a 1-year chip is huge. Because if you can actually get through that year, you have done a substantial amount of recovery to the sensitivity of the mind, of the brain, for normal dopamine level stimulation. Life is starting to feel normal. Now, it's not as good as it's going to get, okay? It's still going to be recovering more for the next couple of years. And it will probably take about 3 years for things to be all firing on all cylinders again.
With alcohol.
With alcohol. But after a year, we're in pretty good shape, okay? And the same thing is true after 2 or 3 weeks of healthy food. You're in pretty good shape. You actually like the healthy food, you're feeling better, things are moving the right direction, all is getting better. Now, are you shaky? Yeah, you're just shaky like someone who's been in AA for a year. But you are on your way. So the sacrifice and the determination and self-discipline is not at the level of major addiction. It's one whole notch down. It's there, it's not easy, and it's enough to trap us. But people should know that it is not the harrowing ride that some of these other challenges are, but it's but it has similar magnitude in terms of your health and happiness.